do this.
Yeah.
And it really won't matter what I say for the next 5 minutes if you're not paying attention to me. Those are my kids. I love teaching in a new church school. I was kind of told that I could talk about whatever I want, so I will. I taught first grade for 17 and a half years in the new church school outside of Philadelphia. And when we moved to California, there were no new church schools to teach in. So after 10 years of doing an odd mix of many different kinds of teaching, I returned to the classroom last year, and this will be my 19th year as a new church teacher. So I've been in this a while, and what I really wanted to share with you is how the teachings for the new church form my philosophy, practice, and choices as a teacher. Okay. So this passage is from the Teachings for the New Church in the book True Christian Religion. And the passage is referring to how the Lord works with people in his effort to be conjoined with man. And I'm just going to let you read that by yourself. So this passage talks about the Lord's work with us. But for my purposes, I find that I can use his example of leading and teaching in my work as a teacher, because the Lord is, after all, the best role model we have. So I've made this my model for teaching. And I could go on for a long time about all the details of this, but I only have a few more minutes, so I'm going to do it briefly. The first part of the passage talks about accommodation. So this involves taking the curriculum, the concepts, the content that I need to cover with the students, and adapting it to their specific states and needs. A lot of people think that school is just about the intellect of the child, the cognitive part of the child, and the growth in their intellect. But there are many more aspects of the development of the child that a teacher needs to address and to accommodate to. There's physical development, there's social and emotional development, the cognitive and intellectual, their moral development, and most importantly, their spiritual development. Each one of these aspects of development is an integral part of the child. Being aware of all these stages of development and knowing where a child is on the path are vital steps in being able to teach them successfully. So I try to accommodate to the general level of the age that I'm teaching, but I also need to accommodate to the developmental level of each individual child in each of these areas. So for example, developmentally, the average age for children to be ready to learn to read is between 4 and 9. This is a pretty big age spread, obviously. Some children are ready to read at the age of 4. I had 2 in my class last year. But some not until 2nd or 3rd grade. And just because they just aren't there yet. A good portion of them are ready at about ages 6 or 7. But it's not a hard and fast rule, and the teacher has to know where the child is to accommodate. And it makes it challenging as a teacher to provide an environment that nurtures success and progress at all stages of development, so that the child does not become frustrated by trying to do something that they're not ready for, and so that they're progressing at whatever level they happen to be. Because of this, it is particularly valuable to be in a school with small class sizes. So once you have the accommodation part, and once that part is considered and planned for, the next part is the application. And as it says in the passage, both of them keep working together. So to me, this is the nuts and bolts of how I teach to the variety of stages of development. This is the methodology that I choose to use in my teaching. I can teach to the whole class, to a small group, or to write to an individual child. I can use a variety of hands-on experiences, movement, music, stories, projects, and any number of ways to find applications suited to their states and needs that convey the concepts and skills in my curriculum. A lot of time in my classroom, the children have no idea they're being taught anything. So there we go, okay. We make bread every week. And it might look like it's a lot of fun and it really tastes good. But embedded in this activity are the teachable moments to learn measuring, following directions, taking turns, sharing, charity, using the Lord's creation, order, even just foundational concepts that will help them understand the importance of things like wheat as an export when they get to the older levels. There are lots of children who have no clue that flour comes from wheat in this world, but my kids know. And then I think of conjunction, the last part, as being the point where everything comes together. The student learns what you're teaching them, and even more importantly, they see how it relates to everything else they're learning and to their life. The curriculum, skills, concepts, methods, and everything else integrate together to form a foundation that builds and builds and builds as they go through the school. We have a spiraling curriculum. They keep revisiting things in a way that goes up, so they just keep building on what they've learned before. Most importantly, and to me the most beautiful thing about this school, is how all of it relates back to the Lord as our Creator and Father, who is leading and guiding everything in our lives. That's it.